Well, David, no Roberto. Was the excitement too much for him?
He's lost his voice. It happens frequently to him, to be honest. And I think the tension in the game, and the way it finished, the dramatic finish towards the end as well, I think it's just a little bit too much. He's lost it completely. I've lost half mine as well, but nice to be.
He's had some wonderful wins as a manager, but this must be right up there, being down to 10 men for so long, against a side who've started the season so well.
Well, we knew this was going to be a difficult game right from the off. I mean, one, because West Brom have started the season off so well. They're very well organised. They've got some good players, some dangerous players. So we knew that was going to be difficult. We also knew that we were coming into it on the back of the majority of our players being away for an international break. There's been a couple of injuries that we've picked up as well, so we didn't have a full complement to choose from. We've had, Pablo Zabaleta, Sergio Aguero flew into the country on Thursday lunchtime from Argentina. So, and we've got in a very important game on Wednesday as well. So that all went into our team selection. But we know that we've got enough players to choose from. We know that we can still put a competitive team out there. But the way that the game went, within 20 minutes you're down to 10 men. Whether it's a clear goal-scoring opportunity or not is debatable. But there's nothing we can do about that. James got sent off, and we had to play for 70 minutes with 10 men, and we did so very, very well. I think as soon as we got in at half-time and we managed to calm things down and say, look, we're still in this. If we stay compact and stay together, then we're still in it. We've not got to lose our heads, stay disciplined. And I thought we went out in the second half, and even with 10 men, I thought we dominated. The stats show that in terms of possession, in terms of efforts on goal. From that perspective, I think we deserved the result. We'd have settled for 1-1, but we managed to get the counter-attack in the end, and Edin finished it off very well.
Would you agree it was a difficult first half for the referee?
I think it's a difficult game. I think you've got two teams that are going for it. There's a penalty appeal. I haven't seen it, so I don't know whether it is or it isn't. Sometimes you've got to go off the reaction of players, and our players seemed incensed by the fact that it wasn't given. But fortunately enough, we don't have to worry too much about that. I think it's difficult for every referee. In decisions, they've got to make snap decisions. Maybe Mark will look at that on the video and think perhaps it wasn't a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Maybe it won't. As I say, I haven't seen it, but it's all pretty irrelevant now.
Edin Dzeko, 4 goals now off the bench this season. I mean, he's giving the manager something to think about there, and his attitude seems to be spot on, considering he's only had a couple of league starts this season.
As I say, we've got situations where we've got so many games coming up. We're picking teams dependent on the opposition. We're picking teams dependent on what players have played the week before, whether they've been travelling an international week, whether they haven't, whether they've played for their international team or they haven't. We're picking teams based on what's coming up for us as well, in terms of, we've got the Champions League on Wednesday. And we're rotating the squad. Everybody's getting minutes on the pitch. Edin's been in superb form, not just goal-scoring wise, but towards the end of last season as well, he was. Coming on from the bench. But when he started, he's done very, very well as well. He's a top player, and if we can keep that spirit, and, people should be disappointed when they're not in the team. But the reaction that you want is, when they come on, that they fight for the team. And I think, they've all done that.
And we saw the good and bad of Mario Balotelli in the first half. Was there any thought about substituting him at half-time?
I think the way that the game was going, it was quite intense. But they had 2 or 3 players on yellow cards as well. Mario with a booking. It comes into the thought process, but we thought he was giving them problems as well. I think when you're down to 10 men, there's a lot of running that needs to be done. We couldn't take the risk once we got 20 minutes in, and we think that maybe Sergio can give him another problem. You don't want to be going down to 9 men just because of a late challenge or something like that. But Mario was booked, I don't know, inside 20 minutes, I think, but still, he kept his head for the next hour or so. So I think, people will say a great deal about that, but there's a bit more maturity coming into him, I think.
And just finally, with Chelsea winning earlier on in the afternoon, was it really important to get the win today?
Listen, we're 8 games in. I mean, what other teams are doing, we can't do nothing about. We've just got to follow our own road. Make sure that we gain as many points as we possibly can. Obviously, Chelsea flying high. It's a great victory for them today at Tottenham. You don't want them to get too far in front, but all we can do is look after ourselves at this moment in time.